Italian league legends like Paolo Maldini, Javier Zanetti, and Alessandro Del Piero captivate their elegance, unique skills, great personality, and loyalty. But there are other sorts of players who captivate our attention. Bad boys, villains, notorious men, and anti-heroes. Whether you love them or simply love to hate them, Italian football wouldn't be the same without these bad boys. Welcome to Yama UAE. Today, we're talking about the top 10 bad boys in Italian football history. Who is the number one villain? Make sure to watch till the end to find out. Number 10, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He's one of the greatest players of his generation. Zlatan Ibrahimovic's larger-than-life persona exceeded anything he's done on the pitch. The Swede began his career as a big striker with an even bigger ego, but the fans began to embrace the character with time. Most of the time it's hard to tell when the striker is honest or playing the role, and that's probably because the genuine Zlatan and the over-the-top Zlatan are two faces of the same coin. Perhaps he became a calm person in his 40s, but the Milan legend never was humble in his heyday. Whether it was his rival or his own teammates, everyone could get a taste of Ibra's infamous legendary kicks. Number 9, Sebastian Rossi. Another Milan legend, but from another era between 1990 and 2002. Sebastian Rossi was the main man defending the posts for the Russian Nero. Although the Diavolo possessed some of the most elegant players in the sport, the former goalkeeper had much more about him than style. For opposing strikers, facing the brutal shot stopper was never a pleasant task, and even if they managed to score, he'd still get his revenge, one way or another. He was pretty aggressive behind the pitch too. One time the Italian was arrested for attacking a police officer. Number 8, Paulo Montero. If you're the one who holds the record for the most red cards in Series A history, then you got yourself a spot on the bad boys list. Ever heard of Paulo Montero? He's the Italians' answer to Sergio Ramos. The Uruguayan embodied all the aspects that make Juventus rivals hate the Turin-based club. Big, brutal, nasty, and unpleasant to the eye. Number 7, Paolo Di Canio. Paulo Di Canio is a die-hard fella to study. He was an absolute genius on the ball and the author of some of the best goals in Premier League history during his successful voyage to West Ham. At the same time, the Italian bad boy is as moody as possible. He pushed a referee following his dismissal during his time on the English shores. And don't forget his highly controversial views when it comes to politics. He saluted his Lazio supporters not once but twice before promising to finally stop after receiving fines and bans. He would be banned for life in our times after the first attempt. Number 6, Pascal Bruno. As one writer poetically said, Pascal Bruno is not violent, but an exhibitionist of violence. Ex-Torino defender once grabbed the legendary Marco van Basten by the hair and shouted he'll end his career. Why? Because the Van Basten had celebrated an own goal in front of him. Feeling the tension, Fabio Capello wisely took the striker off the pitch. Instead, the animal, as they call him, took his frustration on Van Basten's teammate, Carlo Ancelotti. He repeatedly smashed him. Later, he admitted he didn't know why he chose poor Carlo to be his punching bag. Although he quit football a long time ago, the Italian madman never lost his temper. In 2015, he wanted to punch Leonardo Bonucci due to the Juventus player's cunning during the derby against Bruno's beloved Torino. Number 5, Marco Materazzi. There might be situations when it's not the quantity or quality in football, but the timing is what matters the most. Before 2006, Marco Materazzi was involved in some minor controversial incidents here and there, but they were listless compared to the other beasts on the list. But the former Inter star got his fame when Alessandro Nestia got injured during the 2006 World Cup group stage. Matrix took the spot and became the unlikely hero for the Azzurri in the grand final against France. In the space of 120 minutes, Materazzi shifted from an overlooking mediocre defender to a national hero and a World Cup winner, all thanks to his taunting of Zinedine Zidane, which resulted in the most famous headbutt in the game's history. Number 4. Claudio Gentile. When a modern striker complains over some brutal defenders, he should be reminded how lucky he is for avoiding Claudio Gentile's era. The Juventus legend indeed wasn't the only nasty defender on his generation, but he's arguably the most famous. During a World Cup clash against Argentina, the Italian committed 23 fouls on Diego Maradona. Some joke that if Gentile was asked to mark you, he'd even follow you to the restroom. The Tripoli native also had a notorious signature move. When helping his victim rise to his feet after a nasty challenge by offering his hand, he dug his nails into the hapless prey. That's a high level of villainous. Number 3. Mario Balotelli. While some footballers start their careers in a relatively routine fashion before their ego turns them into something else, Mario Balotelli took a role of a star boy while being only 17. Inter, Manchester City, Milan and Liverpool, and any other club he played, the Italian always amused us with his stunning acts on and off the pitch. Throwing darts at youth team players, burning his home by launching fireworks, breaking into a woman's prison because he was curious, throwing his Inter jersey on the pitch in an act of defiance, making Francisco Totti track all the way back to the byline just so he could angrily kick him. Super Mario knew how to live his life. Despite his staggering career today, he remains a one-of-the-kind human being. Number 2. Antonio Cassano. Finally, we've reached the Italian football's ultimate marvellous talent. Talentino Di Bari, Fantantonio, or Peter Pan. He was always a boy who refused to grow up. Due to his numerous incidents and never-ending quarrels with his managers, directors and even club presidents, Antonio Cassano's deeds earned their very own name, which has been adopted by the dictionary, Cassanat. This includes mocking Fabio Capello at Real Madrid and directing less than respectful words towards the famous tactician. Due to incidents like these, he was taken out of Los Blancos squad, so he chose to enjoy the company of beautiful women, hundreds of them, at least if he were words to be believed. Although he hung his boots in the last few years, he still caused an stir on his vivid comments during his regular appearance on Christian Vieri's Boo Boo TV. He even somehow managed to get under the skin of Cristiano Ronaldo lately. Number 1. Edmundo. Football fans around the globe can quickly identify at least one stereotypical showy Brazilian player. You probably know which one we're talking about. The incredibly talented star who had it all to become the best in the world but became the top bad boy of Series A due to his poor discipline. The striker was dubbed O Animal in his home country, and for a good reason. He had many controversial incidents, including conflicts with officials, managers, and even his own teammates. He shared a long and awkward love-hate relationship with the legendary Romario. During his days at Fiorentina, he once fled back to Brazil to take part in Rio de Janeiro's festival, even though his services were direly needed due to the injury of Gabriel Bastitio. Edmundo's crazy stories are endless. He once invited a whole circus to his son's birthday and got a chimpanzee called Pedrino drunk after offering him beer and whiskey during the party. Edmundo did enough during his time in Italy to earn himself the moniker of the biggest bad boy. But what do you think? Who's the ultimate bad boy of the Italian league for you? Leave your opinion in the comment section, and of course don't forget to like, share and subscribe so you don't miss an upload and the amazing content we send your way.